Hey guys, I found the Horgon!
Oh no! That took me 31 hours and 8 minutes to 3D print.
3D printer is nerd for sports cars.
It's 5 minutes until the show and Joni's still not here.
Did you call her?
Will do.
Get her here now. Okay, ready everyone? Today is an important day. Trek Players' first show at the Eugene Con. How are you guys feeling? Don't be nervous. I've done a great job with this show. And I think you will find that you all have done my work justice. I have more than adequately prepared you for opening night.
Sorry I'm late. I had to get worms for the Spike the Dragon.
Joni, get into costume, and Kayla,
Okay.
listen to this reptile.
Okay.
Okay, everyone, places.
Thank you,
Places.
Hello, audience. I am the director of Trek Players. We'd like to thank you for having us here.
Your mic's not working.
This is Sam Knight, the actor. My production, the classic Star Trek episode, Next Generation Qpid. You know, money doesn't grow on trees.
Your mic is not on.
No, we can go charge admission. So if you enjoy the show, even if my mic doesn't work, please put whatever money you can give into our donation jar over there. We are totally run by volunteers, donations, and my brilliance. Please like me and Trek Theater on Facebook. And check out EugeneTrekTheater.com. Also, we'd like you all to vote for BestOfEugene.com, best theater group in town, Trek Theater. Make sure to tell all your friends and family about us. Now, welcome to the stage, Trek Players.
Space.
The final frontier. These are the ways of the Starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission to explore new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before.
Captain's log. Stardate 44741.9. We have arrived at Tegas 3, where the Enterprise is set to host the Federation Archaeology Council's annual symposium. I look forward to giving my keynote address with great anticipation. Come.
Captain, I thought you'd want to know that the council members have been beamed aboard and assigned quarters.
Excellent.
It really is quite late, Captain.
Tell me, Counselor, in regard to my lecture, which do you think would give greater clarity, a chronological structure, or a division of each excavation's findings into various sociological, religious, and environmental subgroupings?
I thought you had already decided on a chronological structure.
Still, there is something to be said for a more scientific approach.
Captain, may I make a suggestion?
By all means,
Relax. You've written a brilliant speech.
it needs to be. Tomorrow I'll be addressing some of the greatest scientific minds in the Federation. Schweitzer, Clark Tarndroth, McFarland, giants in the field of archaeology. Next to them, I'm nothing more than an enthusiastic amateur.
I doubt they think of you as an amateur. Not when it comes to the ruins of Tagus 3.
Well, I have done my homework. I've examined the findings of every archaeological expedition conducted on the planet's surface.
It's a shame that Tagans no longer allow outsiders to visit the ruins.
Indeed, especially since we still know so little about their culture. Well, hopefully I've been able to construct some plausible theories of my own.
I'm sure the council members will agree that you have.
Your support is appreciated, Deanna.
Good night, Captain.
Bring back any memories?
Vash, how did you get in here?
I came here through the window.
I had no idea you were a member of the Archaeology Council. You are a member, aren't you?
More or less.
Why did you come to Tegas?
To see you, of course.
Is that the only reason?
Isn't it enough?
I wish I could believe you.
I'd be disappointed if you did. I really have missed you, Jean-Luc.
Come.
I'm sorry, I'm late. Oh, excuse me.
That's quite all right. Dr. Beverly Crusher, allow me to introduce Vash, a friend of mine from the Archaeology Council.
I didn't mean to interrupt. The captain and I often have evening tea.
Yes, Jean-Luc has told me all about you.
Really? When was that?
On Ryza, where we met.
I see. That must have been during your vacation last year.
So it was.
I'm surprised. He's never mentioned you before.
Yes, so am I. Are you busy, Doctor?
Not at the moment.
I was wondering, I would love to see more of this marvelous ship.
I'd be delighted to show it to you, if that's all right with you, Jean-Luc.
Of course.
Don't worry, I promise to behave myself.
And this is 10 Forward, where the council's welcoming reception is to be held tomorrow afternoon.
Yes, I couldn't think of a better place to have it. So tell me, does Jean-Luc come here often?
No, not often.
I didn't think so.
The captain is a very private man.
Yes, he certainly acted that way when we first met. But I managed to loosen him up.
Would you like a drink?
Please!
Eternity never looked so lovely.
Excuse me?
Oh, I was referring to the view. Eternity had never looked so lovely.
You must be Commander Riker.
I'm afraid you have me at a disadvantage.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I think you were about to tell me that my eyes are as mysterious as the stars.
You're a betazoid.
No, it's just that Jean-Luc does quite a good imitation of you.
He does.
See, you two have met.
Not exactly.
Vash is a member of the Archaeology Council and a friend of the captain.
So I've gathered.
They met on his trip to Ryza.
On Ryza? That was a better vacation than he let on.
You mean he never mentioned me to you either?
Trust me, if he did, I would remember.
You thought he told someone about me.
Dr. Crusher, please report to sickbay.
On my way. I'm afraid I won't be able to finish up our tour. Perhaps Commander Riker could fill in for me?
It would be my pleasure.
So, you're the one who asked Jean-Luc to buy the Horgon.
Yes, that was me.
Tell me, Commander, do you collect sexual fertility symbols?
I wouldn't say it's a very large collection. And this brings us to the main bridge, the command center of the Enterprise, and the end of our tour. Vash, I'd like to introduce you to Commander Data, Commander LaForge, and Lieutenant Worf. Is something wrong, Mr. Worf?
Commander, I was not informed that council members have been granted bridge access.
I think we can make an exception in this case, Mr. Worf. Vash is a guest of the captain.
Welcome aboard.
Is this where Jean-Luc sits?
That's the big chair.
Wow, I can see where being a ship's captain does have its rewards.
I'm glad you approve.
Oh, Jean-Luc, Commander Riker was showing me the bridge.
Dr. Crusher had been called to sickbay, sir.
I take it you enjoyed your tour.
Oh, very much.
Good.
Well, I'm gonna get to my room now and get ready for the reception.
By all means. Well, I suppose I'll see you there.
I look forward to it.
Fascinating woman.
You find something humorous, Jordy?
Didn't you notice how uncomfortable the captain seemed around Vash?
Yes, however, I find nothing amusing in his hostility toward her.
That wasn't hostility, Data. He likes her. A lot.
Being the ship's counselor meant that the captain confided in you.
He does when he feels it's necessary.
And he never spoke about me?
Not that I can recall.
Not even a hint?
You must understand, the captain is a very...
Private man, yes, I know. Would you excuse me?
Certainly.
Nice legs. Where are you?
I agree. The Vulcan excavations on Tagus were extensive. However, they were confined to the northeastern part of the city.
Jean-Luc, we need to talk.
Pardon me. Well, the reception seems to be a success.
Oh, forget the reception for a moment. How come you never mention me to your friends?
What would you have me tell them?
Maybe that we met for one thing, that we have an adventure, some fun.
I'm afraid that would have been impossible.
Why?
It would have been inappropriate.
Well, I didn't mean for you to go into intimate details.
A captain does not share his personal feelings with his crew.
Is that a Starfleet regulation, or did you make that one up yourself?
I'm sorry if you're upset.
Oh, and I'm sorry that my being here embarrasses you.
How was the reception?
Splendid.
Jean-Luc, how wonderful to see you. How about a big hug? Well, don't just stand there, say something.
Get out of my chair.
I was hoping for something a bit more like, welcome back, Q. It's wonderful to see you again, old friend.
We are not friends.
You wound me, mon capitaine. There. Perhaps now your manners will show some improvement.
What brings you here, Q? Have you been banished from the continuum once again?
Hardly. They're still apologizing to me for the last time.
Then what is it you want?
Must I always have a reason to stop by? I was in the sector and... All right. You force a confession from me. The truth is, I have a debt to settle.
A debt?
To you, Picard. And it gnaws at me. And it interferes with each of my days.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
If it wasn't for your assistance at our last encounter, I never would have survived. I would have taken my own life. But for you, Picard...
We all make mistakes.
Your good deed made possible my reinstatement into the continuum, and I resent owing you anything. So, I'm here to pay up. What will it be? Tell me, and I'll be gone.
Just be gone. That will suffice nicely.
No. It has to be something constructive. My new word for the day.
Some other time, all right? Right now I've got several other matters to attend to.
Ah, yes, your speech. I've read it. I found it dull and pedantic, much like yourself. I could help you with it.
No.
You've never actually been to Tagus, have you?
The ruins have been sealed off for more than a century.
How can you write about what you haven't seen? I'll take you there.
Impossible. That would mean breaking Teguin law.
Must you always be so ethical? I suppose we could travel back in time. You could see what Tagus was like 2 billion years ago. They really knew how to have fun back in those days.
I'm afraid my answer is still no. My lecture will have to stand on its own. Now will you please leave my ship?
Then you refuse my help?
Completely!
You're just impossible to buy a gift for, Picard.
Commander Riker, please report to my ready room.
Yes, Captain.
I've just been paid a visit by Q.
Q! What does he want?
He wants to do something nice for me.
I'll alert the crew.
Who's there?
It's me,
Who?
Jean-Luc.
Yes.
May I come in?
Why?
To talk?
I'm listening.
If it's all the same to you, I'd rather this conversation not take place in a public corridor.
And I thought those were private quarters.
And I thought I was the only reason you came to Tagus.
Oh, I never fooled you for a second. Still, you were the most important reason.
Am I?
That's the trouble with being such a well-known liar. Even when I tell the truth, no one believes me.
I'm afraid all this equipment will have to be confiscated.
Is that necessary?
I could have you thrown in the brig.
Why don't you?
If the Teguins were to catch you down
You
there.
gave me the same warning about Saragon 5.
I remember.
Well, it didn't stop me from getting there. I even brought up some very interesting artifacts, too.
Which you no doubt sold for a nice profit.
That's what I do!
Not while you're aboard my ship. I will not allow it.
Let's get one thing straight, Picard. I'm not gonna change who I am for you or for anyone else.
Nor can I change who I am.
Then we have nothing more to say to each other.
So it would seem.
Sleeping alone tonight, Picard?
I'm in no mood for your foolishness, Q.
I thought there was something different about you. You seem tense, preoccupied, somewhat smaller. At first I thought it was that horrible speech of yours, but I was mistaken.
Whatever game you're trying to play will have to wait until the morning.
I had such high hopes for you, Jean-Luc. I thought you were a bit more evolved than the rest of your species, but I see now you're just as weak as all the others. Still, it pains me to see the great Jean-Luc Picard brought down by a woman.
What woman?
Don't play coy with me, Picard. I saw your little spat with Vash. Nor will I soon forget the look of misery on your face. The pain. The anguish. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you two were already married.
Your imagination must be running away with you, Q.
She's found this human emotion. Love. Is a dangerous thing, Picard. One you're clearly ill-equipped to handle. She's found a vulnerability in you. A vulnerability I've been looking for a long time. If I knew sooner, I would have arrived as a female. Mark my words, Jean-Luc. This is your Achilles' heel.
Believe what you wish.
You deny you care for this woman? Believe me, Picard. I'd be doing you a huge favor if I simply turned her into a Klevnian eel.
Stay away from her, Q.
I'm only trying to help. My debt to you
is nullified. I don't want your help, your advice, your favors, or for that matter, you. Can you understand that once and for all?
You would have me stand idly by while she leads you to your destruction?
Yes.
As you wish.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the Archaeology Council, welcome. Mysteries. It is the mystery of Tegus 3 that brings us here today. It is a mystery that has caused more argument and deduction than the best Sherlock Holmes or Dixon Hill tale. Well, if you'll excuse the conceit, I'd like to share with you my own detective story. For the past several years, I have been trying to unravel the mysteries of Tegus 3. Needless to say, I have not succeeded. I have, however, I believe, turned up some new information that, if nothing else, will provide us with more questions that I hope we can discuss during our time here today. What the hell?
Okay, people, hurry, hurry, hurry. We're having some mic problems, so just check their mic.
I doubt there are very many oak trees on Tegus. No, I think this is supposed to be Earth. Sometime during the 12th century. And this is England, or Sherwood Forest to be more precise.
Well, that would explain the costumes.
For one. Or should I say John the...
If he's Little John, that makes you...
I know. Robin Hood.
Captain, I protest. I am not a married man.
Your clothing identifies you with the character of Will Scarlet, just as Geordie's mandolin suggests she is Alana Dale.
And you, Mr. Data, have the striking resemblance of a one Friar Tuck.
I will not play the fool for Q's amusement.
You're quite right, Worf. Do you hear that, Q? You may as well return us to our ship immediately.
Robin Hood?
Quickly, into the forest! Mr. Worf, that is an order!
Enough, you fools. We'll never find them in the Greenwood. Page, my hat.
I've managed to stop the bleeding.
Very good. It's about time you showed up, Q.
I would prefer if you referred to me as His Honor the High Sheriff of Nottingham.
We will not share in this pointless fantasy of yours.
You hurt my horse. Fine. Stay here and do nothing. By this time tomorrow, you'll all be back safely aboard your ship. But you will have to deal with the consequences of your inaction.
What consequences?
What's the one thing Robin Hood is famous for?
Stealing from the rich to give to the poor?
Besides that.
Are you referring to his rescue of Maid Marian from Nottingham Castle?
Right you are, Data. And it just so happens that Sir Guy of Gisborne has decreed Maid Marian's head to come off tomorrow at noon.
Vash.
The choice is yours, my dear Robin. Take your ease here in the Sylvan Glade, or risk your life to save a woman you care nothing about.
My feelings for Vash are irrelevant. I would attempt to save any innocent life, as you well know.
But what of your merry men? Would you risk their lives? Is Vash's life worth losing even one member of your crew? Even him? Though I imagine he would make a perfect throw rug at Nottingham Castle.
Q, I ask you to end this here before anyone else gets hurt.
Impossible. You see, I've given this fantasy, as you call it, a life of its own. I don't know how this is going to turn out any more than you do. But of one thing I am certain. If you set foot in Nottingham Castle, blood will be spilled. Yeah!
My lady, you wear yourself out with all that pacing.
Stop calling me that. My name is Vash.
It's a brain sickness you've got for sure. Can't I get you something to ease your suffering?
I could use a drink.
It wasn't spirits I was thinking of, my lady. Look at what I've got here. Some nice, fresh leeches to drain your fever.
Out!
But my lady, those are from the United States. They cost $20.
Get out!
They're the freshest out of the land. Oh, me. Sir Guy, her mind is in an awful turmoil. Leeches?
Who the hell are you?
My lady, everyone knows who this is. This is Sir Guy of Gisborne.
Sir Guy of what?
Oh, bless you, my lady.
Do not mock me, Lady Marian. I will give you one final chance to change your mind. Will you marry me? I see. Then the execution will proceed as scheduled.
What execution?
I warn you, Marian, this pathetic attempt at feigning madness will not save your life.
You mean I'm the one getting executed? Sir Guy, wait, can we talk this over? I must admit I haven't been quite myself lately, and perhaps we have both been acting a bit hasty?
Well, your head is far too lovely to become unattached.
The arrow impacted just above my sixth intercostal support, penetrating my secondary subprocessor. Fortunately, none of my biofunctions seem impaired.
Sorry.
It's about time we get out of here, Captain.
Not we, Commander. You and the others will remain here until I return.
Wait, you're not planning to go rescue her alone, are you?
This is not a mission. It's personal. Between Q and myself. I don't want any of you involved.
But Captain, you can't expect us to wait here and do...
You have your orders, Commander. I expect you to follow them.
Such benevolence, Sir Guy. Allowing the condemned prisoner fresh air.
You're mistaken, Sheriff. Maid Marian has consented to be my wife.
That's correct, Sheriff. My lady has come back to her senses and has agreed to marry Sir Guy of Gisborne. But I do have these fresh leeches in case she falls ill again. Oh, my leeches.
But that's impossible.
Not at all. Though I must admit, a maiden seldom have the opportunity to find herself such a noble husband.
A toast to the most beautiful bride-to-be in all of England.
Hold there, Sir Guy.
Have you taken leave of your senses?
It could be poisoned. Some foul plot of Robin Hood. She's still in league with him, I'll warrant.
Robin Hood? Oh, Robin Hood! Oh, it was over long ago.
Everyone in Nottingham knows you're in love with him.
That's a lie. He bewitched me. Put me under an evil spell.
Just as I suspected. You can add sorcery to the list of charges against that rogue.
If anyone here is bewitched, Gisborne, it's you.
Silence! Any further impudence and it will be your head on the block. Guard, take Marian to her chamber.
But I'd rather stay with you.
Of course you would, my child. But I have important business to discuss with the sheriff. And you have a wedding to prepare for.
I count the hours.
A lovely creature.
Yes, she's intriguing.
Page, goblet.
Sir Guy, perhaps it would be wise to keep this wedding a secret for now.
What are you babbling about?
You'd still want to capture Robin Hood, don't you?
I live for the moment.
If he caught word that Maid Marian's life was no longer in danger, he'd have no reason to come to Nottingham to rescue her.
By heavens, you're right. No word of my wedding shall leave these walls. What better way to celebrate a marriage than with an execution?
This could be fun.
Oh, Jean-Luc, I'm so glad to see you. You would not believe what I've been through. 1 minute I'm on the Enterprise, the next thing I know, I'm here in Nottingham. First they're gonna chop my head off, and now I'm supposed to marry that guy called Sir Guy, and everyone insists on calling me Marian.
I know.
You do? How? You're Robin Hood?
My crew and I were brought here by an old adversary of mine named Q. I'll be able to tell you the rest once we're safe. Now, let's go. We haven't got much time.
Are the others outside?
They're waiting for us back in shore.
Wait, you came alone?
Yes,
What kind of plan is that?
An excellent one. If you'd only
You do
hurry up-
realize our life are at stakes here.
Only too well.
And this is the best strategy you can come up with? One man against an entire castle?
I suppose you can think of a better one.
Yeah, how about that? You go. I stay.
And do what?
Marry Sir Guy if I have to.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Well, if there's a way to escape, I'll find it eventually. With my head still attached.
You don't honestly expect me to leave you here.
I can take care of myself.
Must you be so stubborn?
There'll be no escape for you this
Stay
time.
behind me.
Well done, my dear.
Consider it a wedding present.
Congratulations, Sir Guy. I see you've snared the jackal.
It's Marian who deserves the credit. Took him with his own sword.
You sent for me, my lady.
Yes, You must bring this You must bring this letter to Robin's man.
You want me to go to Sherwood Forest time of night?
Yes, you leave immediately.
But it's dark. I'll get lost. Besides, it's not safe with all them hedge robbers and all lurking about.
Please, this is urgent.
You ask me, you better stay with Sir Guy. Why? You'll have a future. You'll be in London before you know it.
But you must go, otherwise they're gonna kill him.
Gonna kill him?
Yeah. Oh, how dare you come barging in here this way?
Leeches?
Begone, foul creatures. I've come to apologize for my harsh words earlier. I had no idea you could be so ruthless. The cold-blooded way that you betrayed Robin was most impressive.
Well, it's most gracious of...
I admit I was surprised, though perhaps not as surprised as Jean-Luc.
You're cute.
And you are a very interesting woman. What's this?
Give it...
A letter to Riker? Quick, come to castle, must save captain. This is wonderful. Such marvelous duplicity. You certainly fooled Sir Guy, and me as well. Huh. I do believe you're worth further study.
Am I?
Unfortunately, we won't have the time. Guards! Take this traitor away. It appears there's going to be a double execution.
Your fault.
We would have been safe back in Sherwood if you hadn't grabbed my
I
sword.
grabbed your sword to prevent you from being killed.
You should never have interfered.
Well, you were the one interfering.
I was trying to rescue you.
Yeah, next
time don't bother.
I won't. Don't you two ever stop arguing? So, Picard, as you face the termination of your insect existence, do you see what's brought you to this end? Was she worth it?
Can we just get this over with?
Are you implying I'm not worth it?
Your game was for my benefit, Q. She is innocent in all of this.
She is many things, none of them innocent.
Let her go.
Oh, Jean-Luc, you do care.
A gallant gesture, Picard, but a futile one. I hope you'll both be happy together.
You've been found guilty of outlawry and high treason. Have anything to say for yourselves before sentencing is carried out? Ready them for the block.
Dina, we need a distraction.
Please stand back.
God! To the tower! I'll have you know, I am the greatest swordsman in all of the world.
But there's something you should know. What's that? I'm not from Nottingham!
Damn you!
Oh, Jean-Luc.
It's over, Q. Now get us out of here.
Well done, Picard. I doubt Robinette himself could have done much better.
If any of my people are hurt,
Sadly, they're all fine, but the point is, they could have been killed. And so too might you have been. All for the love of a maid. My debt to you is paid, Picard. That is, if you finally have learned how weak and vulnerable you really are. If you can see now how love has brought out the worst in you.
Oh, nonsense. You're completely wrong. It brought out the best in him. His nobility, courage, self-sacrifice, his tenderness.
Oh, you're good. Very good.
Enough of this.
Indeed.
Is everyone here?
Where's Vash?
Computer, locate Councilmember Vash.
Councilmember Vash is not aboard the Enterprise.
Hello, Jean-Luc.
Well, this is a relief. I thought for sure that Q had...
There were a few things you wanted to discuss with me.
I'm surprised he wasn't too busy gloating over his victory.
He was right about one thing, Jean-Luc. As ridiculous as it was, his game did show how much you care.
I may not show my feelings in front of my crew, but I do have them.
I'm gonna miss you, Jean-Luc.
So where are you off to next?
I haven't made up my mind. Remind you of someone you know?
As a matter of fact, it does.
Oh, we're going to have so much fun. I'm going to show you places no human has ever hoped to see.
Who can resist an offer like that?
As payment in full of your debt to me, you will guarantee her safety.
She will not be harmed. I promise you that. Well, aren't you going to kiss her goodbye? Oh, all right.
Well, aren't you? Goodbye, Johnny.